What's up, weirdos? So, it's been on my mind heavy to talk about being confident in religion. So, I know nowadays it's a lot of people that like to challenge us and like to question us and like to see who we're really in touch with. And it's funny because ever since I was a little kid, I was raised in the church, from my mother, from my grandmother, from my dad, to my stepdad, to back to my mother, back to my dad, back to my grandmother. It's so funny that you could literally grow in the church and see how honestly divided the church is until you get your own relationship with God. And I'm gonna bring y'all down a story time because, like I said, I grew up in the church ever since I was born. I was in the church house, and it's so funny because we're about to have this session on Sunday, and I'm going to be talking to a group of people, and we're going to be kind of having not really a debate, but kind of a debate about why our age group doesn't like to come to church anymore. And let's be honest, we don't like to come to church anymore because it's a lot of judgment going on and a lot of hypocriticness going on in the church house. And I do want the church to know that God is coming back to a church that has no wrinkles or no spots. And when you judge somebody and you do the job of God, I do want you to know that He does not like that. He does not like for man to think that they are God, or to think that they are in the place of God, or to think that they can do godly duties. And one thing about it is He wants you to be like Christ, but He don't want you to look in the mirror and say, oh, I'm Jesus. He wants you to walk like Christ walked on earth. He wants you to heal people with the words of your mouth. He wants you to check up on people and to love people, even the people that do you wrong, and question who you serve. He wants you to do them right. But it's funny because we grew up in a place where people really do judge you based off of who you are and what you do and things like that. And it's just like, I read this verse and it says, how can you judge your neighbor who has dust in their eyes and you have a whole piece of wood in your eyes? And I feel like that is so funny because we have to learn how to, like Michael Jackson said, look at the man in the mirror, because we are really quick to point the finger at somebody else. But do we ever realize once we point a finger, there's three more pointing right back at you? And I can't wait for you guys to hear this conversation that's going to come on Sunday, because it's very deep and it's very honest and it's very realistic, because people don't understand in the church house how they're running away our youth. And do they not understand that our youth is our generation for tomorrow? Let's talk about it. I don't think they're understanding that they're running and they're pushing away the wrong people. They're pushing away the people that God sat on this earth and put on this earth for a purpose and a reason, and not just a season. And yes, the leaning tree does not always fall, because if you have not watched the news, there's a lot of young people that has been passing away. But we also have to come together as real Christians and love on our youth and love on our children and love on people how God told us to. Because how can we love a person and how can we love a thing that we never seen, but we can't love our neighbor that we see every day? I don't want to get too deep into it, because Sunday we're going to get into the real talk of why don't our age group go to church? Why have they left the church? The people that have grown up in the church, why have you left the church? Is it because you feel as though they're hypocritical? Do you feel as though they are judgmental? Do you feel as though you cannot connect to who goes to the church? Or do you just feel like it's just not what you spiritually need? It's not feeding you what God put you on earth to do. So I just can't wait for you guys to come. And make sure you guys tune in on Sunday. The live is actually going to be at 4 o'clock. I'm going to record that on my YouTube channel at Tanisha Ingram, TANISHAINGRAM. I'm also going to probably have some snippets on the podcast, but I really want you to see the faces of the people that have a testimony, that have religious trauma, that go to church daily, that are 20, that are 19, that are 17, that are 16. I want to talk to every single age group that has been to church, grew up in church, been to church one time, and I want you to let me know, why don't you go to church anymore? What has stopped you from loving on God? Because He's loved us even when He didn't have to. He loved us even when we were in a place where we disrespected Him and we basically slapped Him in the face. He loved us. And He loved us so much that He sent Jesus down to give us all another chance. So I'm so ready to talk about it, and I can't wait to see y'all on Sunday.